Hello guys, welcome to my channel again. I am International Master Minh and welcome you to my YouTube video again. So we are back now to the recap of my tournaments, right? First of all, I'm very sorry since I cannot make a lot of events, videos per week. Due to some kind of pretty busy schedule, events, whatever. But I really hope that I can try and make maybe 2 or 3 videos next week. I really hope so. If you like it, just drop me a like or just tell me the feedback, and that will help me to improve the quality of the video, and I'm so thankful about that. So here it is game 3. This is the game 3 of the Philly International event. You can see here that it happened from June 25th, right? Which basically is was more than a month ago. So sorry for being late. But since this event was so memorable for me myself, so that's why even right now, that has been a while ago, I still was able to memorize something of these games. This is game 3 of the Philly International event, and this game actually is rough. If you guys may want to know, so in the Philly International, so there were 2 games per day. In the morning, to the morning round will be played at 11 a.m. and the afternoon round we played at 5 p.m. So in the morning, I believe I met someone who was 2290, I believe, with black pieces. We played for I think 5 hours and 20 minutes, and I can only draw the game. I'm pretty sure I was only able to come back to my room at around 4:20 or 25 p.m. and only 35 minutes left to this game, right? So I just have a short lunch, prepare a little bit, and go to play. Only when I came to the playing hall, I realized that my opponent was a small girl. I think she was 14 or 15 years old, but she was nearly 300, and that is a huge talent, right? So let's start the game. D4 I play, she play knight f6. So I play c4, e6, then c3, which will be 4, the into Indian, c2, d5, a3. You can also play cd5 as well. This is another big line. You can play ed5 here or knight e5 or queen e5 as well. We get huge theory here. But I trying to play another big theoretical variation as well. So takes, queen c3, castles, knight f3, dc4, queen c4, b6. So here, as you guys may want to know, so a very big theoretical alliance. Here's the bishop g5, bishop a6 here, queen a4. So this move, this one, c5, take here, queen b6. A very theoretical positions, which mostly will end in a draw. To be honest, this is the game, this is the position when I drew in the final game of the World Open, where I got my final GM norm against Jeffrey Chong. This is exactly how things went in that game. But here I need to win, so I deviated and I play a relatively rare variation. I think it is not, something very strong, but it has some venom, and it kind of shows the idea by white to go for a ray, and I think a line that is not discovered a lot. h4. I don't even know who plays one first, but I saw some game where Gary Kasparov plays one. I think Hikaru plays one as well, and even Ding Liren play against, I think, Hikaru himself. But this line is pretty fun. The idea by white is just to go for like h5, h6 here, and to go for the attack. In some variations, you may even think about h3, g3, and go for this one as well. But this is a relatively rare variation, so I mean, I just went to the game kind of prepared. That's why I go for this. You can play bishop b7. I can play here. I mean, like here, I think I know the line this way, and then you play this one, right? And I think the knight e5, I think is the main line here. So now take here, it's just losing the game since knight e4 now. So you got like, I think I got knight g6 here at least. Or I can play here as well too. And the game will be pretty complicated. Which is apparently what I want to have. So in the game, my little opponent girl, she spent, I think, around 30 minutes here. I assume she didn't really know theory. But you know, this line is rare, so I can understand why. And she opted for queen d5. Very understandable decision, since when you met a line you don't know, right? So it should be, I think, safe to trade queens or play something safe. In the game, I take here right away. I see no reason why not. Queen c7 is gonna be bad, since now he can play bishop like here or knight here, and then somehow to take the pawn, your development looks pretty weird, and I think black gets full compensation for the pawn. So now I just take the queen here. Here, if she play e5, I just go bishop f4, and I got this pawn under attack. e3, rook c1 can be tried as well, and I think what should be okay. You know, for instance, c5 here is a mistake, so I can take here and you go this way, and you got double attack, right? So this is good. So in the game, she played knight e5, h5. I think this is not the only move here. I can play even e4 as well, knight f6 here, but then I realized my pawn here is under attack, and I don't want to like block the center like this way, since now black can play like knight e7, c5. You can go here as well, and I think it should only be around equal. h5 in the game first. I want to play h6 to exploit some of the dark squares. If she played this move here, I can play e4 now maybe, or just like play knight e5 maybe, bishop d2, f3, e4, and I think the development looks well, right? Bishop b7, I can try e4 and f3, and bishop e3, and I think one should be pretty okay with the bishop pair and a strong center as well. In the game, she just wants to carry out c5, so she ignored my threats. 37, I push, g6, e4, knight f6, and knight g5. The engine didn't like it, I can tell so. So here you can see briefly in the eval bar, which I will show you in just a few seconds here, right? So knight g5 is playable, but the engine will like, I think something like about e5 or h4 to defend the pawn. I believe e5 is the thing that the engine like most. On d5 you play here, and then you can get to c6. But I don't know why I just don't like it. I just want to play something simple a little bit. Since I was, you know, a little tired there, you know, the morning game just finished like a while ago, right? So in the game, knight g5 was played by me, b7 and f3. You can see a good thing about this move, right? So now you have some attack in these dark squares, and your knight on g5 cannot be chased. At this point, I was pretty sure that I was better right now. c5, e3, rook a8, understandable move. I think here she got down to somewhere like 30 minutes, while I'm still having like 1 hour and like 5 minutes, I believe. Take here is just good for me, you know. Since I play this d4 and rook d1 here, my bishop can go to c3 if needed, rook d1, and I think my bishop pair is going to dominate the game. Rook a8 was played. Rook d1 was played, but I think pretty fast by me. c4, yes. So this part actually is pretty important. We have a position that white is kind of better. You can see 2.4 for white, right? With the engine. So 2.4 is like, I think, kind of a pawn up, right? But somehow it's not easy. So what do we have? We have a strong bishop pair, a strong center as well, but we must make a plan, right? As you can see here, so the rook on h1 will fight hard to get to the queen side, which probably is the main battlefield, right? I think here I should play a4, prevent b5 here. So if I play a6 now, I can just play king f2, b5, bishop e2, and just go this way. In the game, I think what I play is not that bad, but at this point, I believe I just start getting a bit lazy. I kind of miss my opponent's play, and I need to play for that. In the game, rook c1, b5. I still can play a4 now. I think the idea is that a4 is right, so you can just even play like a5 if you want to, or if you want to, so you can trade a pawn here, which helps you in a lot of cases. I can tell you later. So in the game, bishop e2 was played by me, knight b6. That's the thing. Now knight a4 can be a try, and I cannot play a4 anymore. The pawn on b5 here can always be defended by pawn a6. So suddenly it's not easy for me here to improve my position even more. Kf2, I just keep playing fast. Somehow I didn't see what may go on for me, and I just played a normal positions. E8 here, d1. I can tell you in this time of the game I was feeling pretty happy. I realized that I have a very strong center, I have a strong bishop pair, I can prepare like d5 later, or I can try and prepare g4, I can try and prepare here as well, like plenty of things I can try to play. But after 97, yes, I start realizing my initiative starts to deteriorate. The thing here is that black wants to play f6 and f5 instantly, and that is not fun for you. I will give you some example, right? Let's say now you play bishop d2 here, so f6 here, and f5 can be a try. Now g5 you can play here, and then I believe black can have a strong pressure on your center. Also, I think your knight on h3 can be a bit misplaced, right? He can even think about like e5 and then knight c5 as well too, which I think is pretty playable. So the knight h3 is not that good. Now your knight is kicked away from the g5 square, which is obviously an ideal square, right? So it's not easy. g4 I play in the game, f6, knight h3. So I play g4 since I think in the future I can hope for g5 here, or I can play knight f4 as well. And I think the pawn here can help me to prevent his f5 idea as well. I don't want to see my opponent open up the f5 this way. That's why I tried up to closing them a little bit, which I don't know if that's like good things or not, but I guess it's fine. I assume. King f7, bishop d2. As you can see here, I'm just playing some normal moves, and I guess I lost the sign of caution. e5. Here I must take an e5. I don't know why I don't take the pawn now. The idea here I should do is taking here, knight e5 and to play g5 here, and then bishop c3 and trying to battle in this diagonal. Also now he must play f5 since he should play here, so I got the strong knight on g5, and now it cannot be chased anymore. So the line here is like f5, I can take here, and knight f4 maybe, and bishop c3. I think I will have some slight edges since bishop pair is still pretty strong, and I can play here later in the game if chance allowed. But in the game here, I just play pretty poor bishop a5. To be honest, I don't understand why I play this move. I believe in the game, so the reason why I play this one is that I want to kind of look for the knight here at some point to prevent rook d8, I think so. Also, I can take the knight here to get the control of the square on d7. At this point, my little opponent can try g5, and this actually is where I will stumble. So now my knight cannot even be able to come to the game. She can even try to go knight f5 later when the pawn on e5 can take d4, And I think although the engine still prefers white, this is already tough. I think at this point we already have like 20 minutes, both of us. e5, e4, d4. Once again, g5 is good, but I think my opponent is a little bit over, like, I guess, like, confident right now. Knight c5. Rook cd1. She wants to play knight b3, as you can see, right? She wants to play knight b3 here, with the idea to attacking my pieces. So my plan is this way: knight b3, just go here, and rook d6, rook d7. This one I think can be a try. This one, and here in g5, right? And this is like a very nice idea to get the knight into the game, like with tempo. So she cannot play knight b3. Instead, she play knight b4. Once again, she must play g5. You will see why this is a must. In the game, knight b4 was played here by her, and this actually is a bad move. I had two different ways to play here. The first one, which due to the engine is the best, is g5, exclamation mark. But this is sadly not easy at all. The thing here about this move is that somehow, as you can see here, so what I can say is that, like, you want to open up things on the square again. Knight b2 is just not doing things you can just play here, which is a very strong move. Here takes, e7, you takes, and gf6. If you play king here, bishop c3, and you win by a piece, right? If you play king f7, knight g5 can be played as well. Also, this one can be played too. So you see, right? I mean, the knight can come back here with decisive effect. That's why you must play g5, not only to prevent white from playing g5 himself, and also you need to prevent the knight from get back to the game. In the game, I think 10 minutes here, I came up with quite something I was pretty proud in the game. In fact, this is the second choice of the engine, but this looks beautiful. So in the game and in my own annotation, I even give this one 2 exclamation mark, which apparently is wrong. b3. Looks beautiful, right? Somehow here I just sacrifice a full pawn, and like take here, what looks fine, right? I think it looks beautiful, and that's why I cannot resist but to go for this move here. This one probably is not the best, but its practical value is pretty nice. So now, somehow you can see, right? This pawn is hanging, and my opponent can take with the pawn on the knight, but both are not working. The best defense here is actually knight b2. In the game, I think I calculated rook d2 here and knight b3. Here she cannot take the knight, I mean the pawn b3, since now it's just dropping a piece. Rook d7, rook here should be 4. That's 1. And I win a piece. Since now the rook is hanging, the knight is hanging here as well, and bishop b7 is also losing a little bit as well too. So the best thing she can do is knight bd3 here. I think I can take on d3. I can play king e3, but let's take here. I think so, right? Take here, the best thing to do. This one is wrong, since now I can play bishop b4. And once again, this is my ideas. So she must try knight d3 now. I can play king to g3, but once again g5. I think I'm fine, you see, right? I think I'm fine for white. I can try knight 2 or bishop c3. I think white should be doing okay, but the initiative won't be huge. And if I want to win, I need to really ride for it. But since we are both down in time here, and my opponent just, I guess in the game, she didn't believe in my sacrifice. She go for the knight b3, which is, I think, losing. cb3 is also not good, since now this is my main ideas. Take on b5, and I got the double attack, right? In fact, the silicon friend still recommend something very, very nice here. Rook e5 exclamation mark. And I mean, this thing is something nobody can see, you know, right? So it's not a big deal. So rook e5 here, I'm sure e4, take here, and this one, and I need to give back the piece. Like, this is like very, very hard So, I mean, it looks fine, right? At first, but this move is just insane. Bishop here is just wrong since it's here, right? And g5 here, and this one, I think I'm just, once again, get my piece into the game, and I think I'm just kind of winning. So in the game, she played knight b3. And I took d7 checks. This is my idea, so let's just move here, e7, forcing, right? To defend the bishop, and bishop d8. This is my whole idea. With this move on bishop d8, although this looks like white square, right? I put pressure on the rook on e7 directly. Bishop b4 with the same idea is much worse since right now he can play knight bc5. And she blocked my attack. Also, I'm so sorry for, saying like I think speaking like he or she, whatever, but my opponent is a she. So I'm so sorry for that again. So in the game here, e7 was played, bishop d8 was played by me as well. So in the main line here, I think she must play this move, king d8, rook d7. I will show you some ideas here by me. So rook here, right? King e8 now is just losing instantly since now this is the main strength of the move. The pawn on h6 will likely to promote. Rook here, just take here, and then you play here, and you play the pawn push, right? And your pawn promotes. c3 is not enough since now you just play here, and then c2 just play here, and then the pawn also promote next move with mate. So apparently king e8 doesn't work here since the king cannot stay in the same rank with the rook. King here is forcing in the game, so I believe I can calculate rook b5 and rook b7. Rook d8, rook b5. This one, and then now the pawn here can be taken. I can play knight f4 next. I can play rook b4 as well, and I think it should be fine. Actually, the engine believes that white is +3 now. I guess it's enough. I guess so. But in the game, I guess she calculated and she believes that it is a losing endgame, so she wants to go for a desperado. Rook d8, knight b2. I suddenly realized that now she wants to go for the pawn push. At first sight, it seems to be pretty strong, since for instance this one, right, c3. And as you can see here, it is not even easy to stop the pawn from promoting, right? There are no squares in the c5 I can use, and bishop d3 she can always take. So, but here, I mean, a bad thing for her and a thing that makes this line doesn't work is that her king, I'm so sorry again, is just vulnerable. Rook d6 exclamation mark. This one. So here you can see, right, g5 is nice ideas. If you play g5 now, it is too late. So I can play rook h8 here and king here, right, rook g8. So this one just allowed rook g7, and I think it was winning, and doesn't really help, right? I can also play like e5 here as well, which is very, very strong. Since now rook e5, I got rook d7, and here just seems fully crushing. So here I think this one just fully over. She just puts the pawn on c4, c3, but now rook h8. And this is my whole ideas. The pawn here drops. The king is in real trouble, and somehow I can even promote my own pawn to queen as well. And now, in fact, there's no defense. The engine here thinks that this one is the best, but just give away the free piece, right? And take here as well. In the game, I guess she was like resigned at this point though. She plays c2, rook h8 here, king e8, and this one should be 5 checks. My bishop suddenly joined the game with checks, and this is over since this one, right? King here, rook d8, and that is GG. Made this one e8. So, I won't say this is a very good game by me, since I was pretty sure I had the initiative early in the opening, but then I cannot find a good way to convert it. I cannot find a good plan though. I was pretty sure I had the advantages right here, and then with knight g5 I think it was fine, but then all of a sudden I just didn't play well. But it's not easy, right? I assume I should play something like e5 here, and this one, like e5 should d5 now. which looks pretty nice. But once again, it's not even clear. So in a game, I believe I had initiative, but I was a bit careless. I was lazy to think, and I just opted for some very natural move, while my opponent just finds some chances to, fight in the center, some chances to put pieces away. I was lucky to win the game, I will say. Somehow, she got pretty good combination. She got some ideas to play knight b6 and a4 as well. I completely missed that. I just simply, you can see here, right? I just simply try and play some natural developing moves, which turned out to be bad. So g4, you can see here that she has plenty of chances to play g5, right? If she plays g5, I think it will be in trouble. So in the game, she just missed that luckily, and the position was open to my favor luckiest. And I guess the thing that I decided to get this game here is that I feel this sacrifice on b3 is pretty nice. You can see it, right? I will give it one exclamation mark, although maybe it's not the right case. But it looks pretty beautiful, right? You can see it here. So from it looks nice. I can get here and here. The pawn actually is poisoned. And somehow on pieces just get into his king unexpectedly. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the game there. This is game 3 of the event. Some next game will be following up in some next videos. We'll see you later. Thank you for coming here. I really hope to receive some good feedbacks later. Stay safe and peace.